It has begun. Dream is returning to hell.
Lord Morpheus comes to us in a futile attempt to free one he loves from our domain. Hell is anticipating his visit.
The continuation of this dark, surreal, mythic universe begins with a deeper dive into the shifting boundaries between dream and reality, expanding the scale, tone, and emotional complexity introduced previously. The new season positions itself as a direct evolution of everything that defined the earlier chapters, but this time the intention is more ambitious, more intimate, and far more unpredictable. From the opening moments, the narrative makes it clear that Dream's realm is no longer a static kingdom, but a fragile ecosystem influenced by cosmic politics, personal wounds, and a growing sense of consequence that extends through the waking world. Every choice that Morpheus makes now ripples outward, and the tension between his ancient, rigid nature and the evolving modern world forms the backbone of the new arc. The story now focuses on Dream's attempt to rebuild the dreaming with greater intention. After the chaos and instability that followed his long absence, the realm still bears scars, and several regions are struggling to regain form. Characters who were once background figures now find their identities shifting as they navigate an environment still healing. Dream is confronted with complications that challenge his expectations. Nightmares that were once loyal begin developing their own ideas about independence. Dreams that served particular roles crave personal reinvention, and the dreaming itself seems to resist being shaped into something static. Even Dream, who has always valued control, must consider whether trying to perfect the realm is undermining its natural evolution. The new season deepens the turmoil between dream and desire, creating a central conflict that feels more personal than anything seen before. Desire's moves are subtle but razor-sharp, weaving emotional traps that test Dream's patience, pride, and vulnerability. What starts as small manipulations grows into a calculated effort to expose Dream's greatest weakness, his refusal to change. Desire is more present in this chapter, exploring motivations beyond their usual mischief. Their goal is not destruction, but disruption, shaping a world where the endless no longer stand in predictable balance. The tension between dream and desire becomes a catalyst for several intertwined storylines, pulling supporting characters into the crossfire as the consequences escalate. Another important thread follows Death as she deals with the growing weight of existence. Though typically calm, empathetic, and grounded, she senses shifts in cosmic energy tied to the instability of Dream's realm. Souls are transitioning with increasing confusion, dreams are bleeding into the final moments of the dying, and certain individuals are resisting the natural pull of her presence. Death becomes a quiet guardian of equilibrium, stepping into the narrative, not as a guide, but as someone who must confront her brother's unraveling emotional state. Their conversations add depth and humanity, reinforcing the complex family dynamic that lies at the heart of the endless. Lucien's role expands dramatically. Having safeguarded the dreaming during Dream's absence, she experiences a growing conflict between loyalty and autonomy. Her knowledge of the realm now surpasses even Dream's in certain aspects, and her insights reveal dangers he initially refuses to acknowledge. Scenes between them highlight a shifting power structure. Dream's old habits clash with Lucien's modernized approach, creating philosophical debates about leadership, responsibility, and the cost of maintaining order in a world transformed by trauma. Their relationship evolves in ways that challenge both characters, creating emotional stakes that reverberate throughout each storyline. Matthew the Raven provides grounding moments, offering perspective as both observer and participant. His commentary becomes more substantial, reflecting a growing understanding of the dreaming's complexities. Matthew's connection to the waking world allows the series to explore how dreams are influencing real lives across time and geography. Small, human-centered subplots emphasize the emotional impact of dreams' decisions, portraying individuals whose destinies are intertwined with cosmic forces they do not understand. Matthew often serves as the bridge between these layers, highlighting how fragile the boundary between dream and reality truly is. The Corinthians' legacy continues to haunt the narrative, even though his arc reached a definitive point earlier. Echoes of his actions linger as nightmares attempt to redefine their identities in his absence. A new antagonist figure emerges from this power vacuum, a nightmare who questions the purpose of fear and considers the possibility of shaping themselves into something beyond Dream's original design. This new figure becomes a mirror to Dream's internal conflict, representing what happens when creations seek evolution without boundaries. The philosophical implications challenge Dream's deepest beliefs and force him to decide whether he can embrace a future where not all dreams adhere to his rules. Human characters also gain stronger focus. One of the central human arcs follows an individual who becomes entangled in the dreaming after a traumatic life event alters their perception of reality. Their dreams begin predicting emotional truths rather than literal futures, and these truths reveal hidden desires, suppressed fears, and unspoken relationships. Their journey shows the psychological side of dreams' influence, portraying the dreaming not as a mystical realm, but as a reflection of what the human mind refuses to confront. This storyline interacts with major events in the dreaming, making the waking world feel more integrated and impactful than before. Rosewalker's presence continues to shape the narrative in meaningful ways. After the revelations involving the vortex, she approaches life with a new awareness of how dangerous and powerful dreams can be. Though she tries to build a normal life, fragments of the dreaming find her again, leading to moral debates about autonomy, destiny, and Dream's right to intervene. Her storyline raises questions about whether certain extraordinary individuals can ever truly escape the influence of cosmic beings. The emotional and psychological weight of her decisions adds a layer of realism, grounding the season's larger supernatural elements. The pacing of this chapter blends introspective, character-driven scenes with moments of surreal, visual intensity. Dreams fold into one another like layered canvases. Landscapes shift with emotional tones, and symbolic constructs manifest in ways that blur literary metaphor and physical space. The season experiments more boldly with structure, using non-linear sequences that reflect the fluid nature of dreaming. Time becomes elastic, meaning becomes subjective, and narrative threads weave together through themes rather than chronology. These artistic choices heighten the dreamlike atmosphere while maintaining clarity through strong emotional through lines. Romance, longing, and unresolved relationships play essential roles, particularly in Dream's personal arc. His tendency to isolate himself comes under increasing scrutiny as past choices return, with new implications. Memories of lost love surface, not as flashbacks, but as emotional states represented in the dreaming through shifting architecture, fading constructs, and symbolic distortions. These manifestations challenge Dream to confront the truth behind his patterns, forcing him to admit that immortality does not equate to emotional resilience. The season positions personal vulnerability as one of the most significant sources of conflict. A sweeping storyline also explores the politics of the endless and their influence across universal domains. Subtle disagreements escalate, revealing fractures in relationships once thought unbreakable. Destiny maintains his distant neutrality, yet subtle gestures imply concern. Despair moves through the story as a quiet but powerful force, her presence shaping character decisions in ways that are understated but profound. Delirium's unpredictable nature introduces a sense of chaotic energy, hinting at deeper transformations to come. These interactions enrich the lore surrounding the Endless, making their family dynamic more integral to the overarching plot. The world building expands beyond the dreaming and the waking world, introducing new metaphysical realms influenced by dreams, but governed by distinct laws. These spaces illuminate how dream energy interacts with forgotten mythologies, untold histories, and collective subconscious forces. Characters venture into zones where dreams are born from cultural memory, ancient belief, or shared trauma, creating visual and thematic variety that broadens the scope of the universe. These expanded settings allow the season to explore how diverse cultures experience dreams and how the dreaming serves as a universal, yet deeply personal realm. A developing subplot centers on individuals who unintentionally disrupt the dreaming through artistic expression, creative obsession, or emotional extremes. These individuals act as anchors for the show's exploration of creativity and its connection to the subconscious. Their journeys reveal the intimate link between artistic creation and dreams' power, exposing how inspiration can serve as both a blessing and a threat. Dream must learn to manage these sparks of uncontrolled creativity, balancing the freedom of human imagination with the structural integrity of the dreaming itself. The final arc of the season builds toward a major confrontation, rooted in philosophical and emotional stakes rather than pure conflict. Dream is forced to confront the consequences of his rigidity, recognizing that even cosmic beings must evolve. Desire's schemes, the blooming independence of dreams and nightmares, the complications in the waking world, and the subtle tensions among the Endless all converge into a moment that demands transformation. The season closes on a turning point that sets the stage for even broader stories ahead, emphasizing change, renewal, and the unpredictable future of the dreaming.